Hello everyone, I'm Sandy Anastasi, psychic channel, intuitive astrologer, and soul coach. And I'm here with my psychic development tip number 47. This one is about developing clairaudience. Clairaudience, or clear hearing, is one of your most powerful and helpful psychic gifts. Yet it is very misunderstood and often overlooked. As with all of the clairs, all of us already have this gift inborn. Most of us have experienced it even if we don't know it, and all of us can develop this skill to a high level. There are two types of clairaudience. The obvious one is that you hear something with your physical ears that sounds like the voice or sound is coming from a source outside of yourself, yet no one else around you is hearing it. The reason I say it's obvious is that when it happens, you definitely recognize it as it's happening. Many people will hear their name being called when there's no one else in the house, or just as they're awakening from sleep, when they are alone, they'll hear their name being called. This can seem so real that you find yourself turning the house upside down, looking for where that voice came from. When this happens to me, I try to recall the last dream I was having before my name was called, or the last thought that was running through my mind if I was awake, as sometimes that voice is your own higher self or your guides drawing your attention to something important. It says, pay attention. Sometimes it's just an alert to pay attention to something that is going on in your life in the near future. Sometimes it's actually a living person saying your name to someone else, distant from you geographically, and you overhear it with your clairaudience. That's kind of like Superman's hearing, remember him? How do you know which thing it could be? Practice and research is the only way, folks. Sometimes you will only know after the fact, and sometimes not at all. Sometimes, as this type of clairaudience is developing, you find yourself hearing things that you wouldn't normally hear. For example, when listening to music, one instrument may stand out and you can follow it throughout the entire piece of music. Or you may hear unusual sounds in your room or your house that draws you to it, and you find something there that you need to work on. The other types of clairaudience are harder to recognize because they're internal. They're more of a telepathic kind of hearing. That telepathic internal voice can easily blend with your own mind chatter, and so it's easily overlooked. But sometimes it can seem to you like you're having an actual conversation with someone in your mind. The key is that it's not you talking to yourself in your head. It's something where the other voice seems lighter, like it's coming from a long distance away, and you feel it as much as hear it. I personally experience this type of clairaudience frequently in my channeled readings for clients, and also when I am doing automatic writing, when I write my books. I will hear the words as they are being written or being spoken. This type of clairaudience is frequently used by your higher self and your guides to communicate with you, as it takes less energy on their part than actually energizing the vibration to make an audible sound, even a sound that only you can hear. This type of clairaudience allows you to communicate with both wild and domesticated animals, with plants, even with insects, as it combines telepathy, empathy, and feeling or clairsentience into your internal audible hearing. As with all of the clairs, the way to develop clairaudience is to first recognize it when it happens, and then pay attention to the feeling that you felt when it happened. It's like riding a bicycle. The more accurately you can recall that feeling of how it is to ride, the easier it is to reproduce that riding the bike experience. And it's the same thing with clairaudience and the other clairs. The more frequently you reproduce that feeling that goes with that particular ability, and the more recognition that you give it, the easier it will be each time to access the skill and develop it. I hope you've enjoyed this psychic development tip, and I would love to invite you to my website. You can find me on www.sandyanastasia.com, where you can find all kinds of wonderful educational programs and more psychic development tips as well. Thanks so much. I'll be back soon with another tip.